¡Lo sabe, Kratos! ¡Zeus sabe que he escapado! ¡Deprisa! ¡Puedo oírle! ¡Se acerca! ¡Por favor, ayúdame, Kratos! ¡Corre!
¡Pandora! ¡Pandora! ¡Atenea!
Está bien, Kratos.
Recuerda tu cometido, espartano. Recuerda por qué has venido hasta aquí. Prepárate, espartano. Ya sabes lo que debes hacer.
Voy a elevar el laberinto. La llevaré a donde pertenece.
Ahí está. Ya la veo, Kratos. En la oscuridad, el fuego de la esperanza nos liberará.
¡Pandora! ¡No!
¿Sabes por qué estoy aquí? Me has traído para hacer esto.
Voy a encontrar otra manera.
No, Kratos. No existe otra manera. ¡Déjame ir!
¡No, niña!
Yo no soy una niña. ¡Me haces daño! ¡Kratos! ¡Socorro!
¡Bájala, Zeus!
Tu obsesión por esta cosa está empezando a irritarme, hijo mío.
¡Suelta a la niña, Zeus!
No confundas este objeto, este engendro de Hefesto, con tu carne y con tu sangre. Aunque tal vez ya lo hayas hecho, espartano. Tu búsqueda de Pandora, tu intento penoso de expiar la culpa por la muerte de tu familia, no ha traído nada más que infortunios al Olimpo. Fíjate bien en lo que has conseguido.
Solo veo lo que he venido aquí a destruir.
Apiadarme de ti ha sido mi gran equivocación, Kratos. Y compadecerte de esta cosa ha sido a la vez tu mayor equivocación.
¡Esto no tiene nada que ver con ella!
¡Tiene mucho que ver con ella!
¡Suéltala!
¡Como desees! y de los dioses.
¡Pandora! ¡Pandora, no!
¡Deténla, Kratos! ¡No dejes que entre en la llama!
Es para esto, para lo que estoy destinada. Y tú lo sabes. Por favor.
¡Calla!
Kratos, sabes que esta es la única manera.
No la escuches, Kratos. Por una vez en tu penosa vida, no falles. No le falles como ya le fallaste a tu familia.
¡Pandora! Poder para matar a un dios.
¿Vacía? Después de tanto buscar, después de tanto sacrificio, y al final solo has conseguido otro gran fracaso. Voy a tener mucho que hacer después de que te mate.
¡Ven por mí, padre! ¡Es hora de acabar con esto!
Sí, hijo mío. Ya es la hora.
ha terminado.
¡Gaia! ¿Sigues con vida?
Mi mundo está sangrando por tu culpa. Yo jamás he pretendido matarte, espartano. Pero no me dejas otra opción.
Tu títere te ha fallado, Gaia. Tal vez debiste elegir al otro.
¡Ya basta! El padre y el hijo morirán juntos. Terminado.
¡Gaia! ¿Sigues con vida?
Mi mundo está sangrando por tu culpa. Yo jamás he pretendido matarte, espartano. Pero no me dejas otra opción.
Tu títere te ha fallado, Gaia. Tal vez debiste elegir al otro.
¡Ya basta! El padre y el hijo morirán juntos.
más que oscuridad, Kratos.
Madre, ¿qué ocurre ahí fuera? La gente, los fuegos.
No te alejes, cariño.
Madre, tengo miedo. Vienen a por nosotros.
Tu padre nos protegerá.
¡Quemad el pueblo! ¡Que no quede nada!
¡Kratos!
Mi hija. ¿Cómo? Se quedaron en Esparta. ¡Ares!
¡Kratos! Ven, te enseñaré el camino. ¡Deprisa! Puedo ayudarte, Kratos. Kratos, en la oscuridad, el fuego de la esperanza nos liberará.
Puedes verla. Te está cambiando. Ya va siendo hora de que entierres tus miedos. La luz revela la verdad. La fuerza del perdón viene de dentro. Para ser perdonado, debes encontrar la fuerza que te perdone.
¡Por aquí!
¡Atenea! ¡No!
Kratos, el miedo llevó a Zeus
Zeus a matar a su padre, Cronos. El mismo miedo que desató la Gran Guerra. El miedo que empujó a Zeus a matarte a ti, su hijo. Zeus utiliza el miedo para atarte a la oscuridad. Enfréntate a tus demonios y entiérralos.
Los dioses del Olimpo me han abandonado.
¿Recuerdas aquel día, espartano?
No permitiré que le hagas daño.
Que tengas suerte con esa ramera a la que llamas Pandora. No puedes cambiar tu destino, mortal.
¡Yo te lo di todo!
Por favor, no lo hagas, espartano.
Ya tienes lo que buscabas. Ahora déjame.
¡Muere, espartano!
Es muy posible que hoy me derrotes. Pero al final, Kratos, al final solo te habrás traicionado a ti mismo.
Ven, te enseñaré el camino.
¡Muere, Kratos! Yo te creí y yo acabaré contigo.
¡Deprisa!
¡Muérete de una vez! ¡Muere! ¡Tiembla de miedo!
¡Kratos! ¡Ah! ¡Por aquí, Kratos!
¡Calla!
¡Deprisa, Kratos! Kratos, por favor. Tienes que liberarme.
No me escuches, Kratos. Por una vez en tu penosa vida, no falles. No le falles como ya le fallaste a tu familia.
Está bien, Kratos. ¡Kratos! ¡Sabes que esta es la única manera! Ver que los dioses tenían miedo me dio un punto de esperanza.
Poder para cada dios.
La esperanza nos hace fuertes. Ella nos ha traído hasta aquí. Es nuestra arma cuando lo demás está perdido.
obrado bien, Kratos. El mundo, libre de las cadenas del Olimpo y purificado en el caos, está listo para oír mi mensaje.
Mira a tu alrededor. El mundo es una pura ruina. ¿De qué sirve tu mensaje?
Vete si es tu deber. Pero antes, entrégame el poder que contenía la caja.
La caja estaba vacía.
Eso no es cierto. Puedo verlo en tus ojos. Usaste mi poder para matar a Zeus. Y todavía lo conservas. ¿No lo entiendes? Cuando Zeus reunió todos los males y los encerró en la caja, yo temía lo que sucedería si se volvía a abrir. Así, invoqué el arma más poderosa del mundo y la guardé en la caja.
Te lo dije. Estaba vacía. Pandora se sacrificó en vano. Ella murió debido a mi necesidad de venganza.
Me parece que te equivocas. Usaste mi poder para matar a Zeus. Yo te vi hacerlo. A menos... Por supuesto. Al abrir la caja, liberaste los males sobre los dioses. Los infectaste. Los cambiaste. El propio Zeus sucumbió a la oscuridad. Por eso estaba tan furioso y tan obsesionado con que murieras. Lo había consumido el mal, el miedo. Yo creía que el poder que guardé en la caja nunca salió. Siempre pensé que te serviste de los males para acabar con Ares. Pero me equivoqué. El poder que sacaste de la caja era mío. Te dio fuerza suficiente para enfrentarte a Zeus. El valor necesario para vencer el miedo. En el fondo de tu corazón, Kratos, hay esperanza. Ha permanecido oculto, ahogado por la culpa y por los errores de tu pasado. Cuando tú mataste a Zeus, debiste de provocar que se reanimara. ¿Qué ha sido, Kratos?
La esperanza nos hace fuertes. Ella nos ha traído hasta aquí. Es nuestra arma cuando lo demás está perdido.
¿Qué ha sido, Kratos?
Solamente recuerdo las cosas que he perdido.
Es por ello que has de entregarme el poder. Yo sé qué implica en realidad y dónde debe estar. Confío en que harás lo correcto, Kratos.
No deberías.
¡Me lo debes, Kratos!
No te debo nada.
Yo te convertí en Dios. Yo te protegí de la cólera del Olimpo. Yo permití que te vengaras de Zeus.
Se acabó, Atenea.
¿Acaso osas oponerte a mí de nuevo?
El fin de mi venganza.
¡Kratos, no! ¡Necio! ¿Pero qué has hecho? ¡Se supone que era para mí! ¡Ellos no sabrán qué hacer con ella! Me decepcionas, espartano.
San Diego this week capturing mocap for cinematics. Stig, Medi, and I came down here about 4 months ago just to tour the facilities. It's really impressive down here, actually. It's a big stage. They do full body mocap. They can do hands and faces down here, and they have a ton of crazy toys. It's amazing that we have this facility that Sony owns that is basically at our disposal, and the teams here are really great.
They're suiting up. Getting her suited up for the day, yeah. Velcro custom suit we get made specifically for motion capture. We have some colored panels on there just to accentuate the actors when they're out there, just to make sure that we can see exactly what's going on instead of having an all-black suit with the all-black floor. And
this is the Gumby suit.
Ready to mocap.
Mocap is basically markers in space that are seen by cameras. They're calibrated to be able to be triangulated into a certain point in space.
It really serves as kind of a basis for us to layer animation on top of.
Got a little coffee. My shades on. This is how we do LA mocap.
Body twist, ankle and knee.
This is called the ROM, or the range of motion, where we show all of our flexibility and bendability of our body so that the computer can track our markers.
Gaia and Titans are going to be climbing up Mount Olympus, so this is our Mount Olympus right there.
Don't try this at home, kids.
As much as I've directed before was with my little sister and my little brother when we were kids and our parents had the video camera. But it's fun. I think if you know what to do and you can communicate with people honestly and you know what you want, they love it. And people are having fun if you are. Ariel, we're going to do the following now.
We're not necessarily as concerned with perfection in really subtle movements because we know that that subtle animation is going to be done by the animators in-house. As long as we can see the character there, then we're getting what we want.
This is the real-time feed of the actual character of the motion capture being done. So you're actually seeing like a stick figure, but it's actually a skeletal figure of Richard, the actor, being out there.
We don't see your feet in that shot, so it doesn't really matter where they are. And break your symmetry if you can, so both arms aren't exactly the same.
Rolling.
All right, thank you. That was good.
Yeah, what you're actually seeing here is the mocap actor actually driving the Gaia character in real time. So,
Tear it down.
It's definitely amazing technology.
Take two, ready. Rolling.
All right, good, thank you.
Eddie is doing well. He's been a great director. Definitely knows the shot he wants, and he gets it.
We sit at a desk all day, and I also like to move around. I think as a director, you should be able, to a certain degree, to do what your actors are doing. So you know what you're asking of them. You can show them if you have to. And, I don't know, you get closer to their performance. Don't ever put that in the making of video.
This is actually a first for me to do motion capture on a bed with pillows.
We are working on the
sex minigame.
The sex minigame with Aphrodite. So we'll have two of the girls today just doing both the parts of the servant girls and Aphrodite, which we have blocked out. So should be an interesting afternoon. If we have time tomorrow afternoon, maybe we'll put Medi in a suit because there are some things I'm sure.
If I'm going to do that, I'd rather do it now to do the sex minigame with Ava and Michelle.
Well, I'm not directing it if you get in a suit. That's all I gotta say.
I'll direct from the bed.
Yeah.
I'll be Aphrodite. I'll be like, you touch me here. You put your leg there. Yes. Let's do take 55. Ava? All right, let's do take one.
And rolling.
Kratos, it's been far too long. Even though you are no longer the god of war, you can still share my bed. Come, Kratos. Let us forget all about Zeus for a while.
You know I cannot.
Ah, is that what has you all worked up? You are trying to figure out that bridge contraption out there. Please do not deny me this one last leisure.
That was great. Cut.
Ah. Is that what has you all worked up? You are trying to figure out that bridge contraption out there. You men and your toys.
Exactly. That's good.
I think for casting for this, Mehdi found people who were good with their body in terms of motion.
We picked actors that had to be comfortable with a little bit of stunt work and a little bit of naughty work.
I think everything went really smoothly.
And then we got really lucky because all the actors turned out to be great people and they got along really well, so there's a really good atmosphere.
Yeah, we went out to dinner last night and had a great time, like just talking and talking about mocap and cinematics and video games, and it's just really nice to be somewhere where people appreciate all the work that goes into it.
The role of a combat designer on God of War 3 is a complex role. Basically has anything to do with characters in the game. Any character you see moving in the game, attacking, fighting, are generally implemented by the combat designer. And then, of course, Kratos. What his platforming elements are going to be, what his new combat moves are going to be, what weapons he's going to use, how he's going to use them, how he walks, everything. I'm here with Jason McDonald, who's a senior combat designer on God of War 3. And we're just talking about the new features that we have in the game and what we're trying to add to the God of War franchise.
Well, we've got some of Kratos' items in. He can grab a head and he can light stuff up. Now that we can play with lighting in God of War 3, we can make the entire room dark, have enemies that are attacking you in the dark, can't be seen. And when you light them up with the head, they light up for a limited amount of time, so you can attack them while you can see them, but then they are constantly disappearing.
You get to parts where it's completely pitch dark and you hear the guys scream in the background. You use the Helios head to, find out where they are. The strategy gameplay, the combat side of it turns into you have to keep these guys lit to be able to hit them, otherwise you get screwed and they just destroy you in the dark. So.
Definitely something we couldn't do before just because we didn't have dynamic lighting to the extent that we have it now, so.
We got the combat grapple in.
We tried the grapple stuff in God of War 2, but since we were limited on memory and animations and things like that, we just couldn't do it, and if we couldn't do it well, then we weren't going to do it at all, so we just didn't do it. But now we have more space, more memory. Kratos is a very strong character, so when he grapples an enemy, he kind of just charges right in and plows through everybody. So the grapple system is exactly like that. You can launch somebody in the air and you grapple them and you ply yourself right into the air, right into them. If there's a crowd of enemies, you'll ply yourself through all of them.
Hey, I'm at Brian Yu's desk here. He's a senior combat designer on God of War 3.
For this particular boss, which is a huge scorpion, you want to make sure the presence is there and the player will feel the power of the attack. Usually for attacks for boss character, you want them to be really recognizable so the player know it's coming, because if the player cannot recognize the move and react in time, they get hit, because it's boss character, you will take a lot of damage. So it's not fun, if you don't see the attack coming, you're being hit. So that's something that we try to work really hard on.
I'm here with Jason DeHarris, combat designer on God of War 3. And we're just looking over some of the writable stuff that's early in development. So how do you think it's going?
It's all right in terms of Kratos. He still wants to kill this beast that's in his way to his ultimate goal. So it's not really his friend, so he's not really telling it to attack. He's just trying to kill it, and then the indirectness of that is the Cyclops reacting to his pain pretty much. But then there's a challenge of making it feel responsive as well. So I guess it's kind of disguising that responsiveness with the pain reaction. So even the pain reaction is really a hit, actually.
As you can see, we got a bunch of grunts on screen right now. And when you're fighting all these grunts, like taking them on, doing a special move or, you know, grabbing each one and killing them, that can be kind of slow. This will be an awesome tool for, like, you see the Cyclops in there, and you're just like, I want to get after the Cyclops so I can jump on his back and do tons of damage and kill these guys quicker. But just like any other feature, you know, we have to prove that it's going to be fun and good. And, if it's not, we got to get rid of it, because everything has to be fun.
Character modeling is taking the art from visual development and turning it into a 3D model, painting it, giving it life, and then handing it off to our character riggers who send it off to animation. So we actually create the object itself.
It's in general just become, I guess you'd say, more sophisticated, but it's more of a traditional media now. It's kind of, if you know how to sculpt traditionally, then you're going to transfer right in. Traditional skills are playing a more important role, which is great.
Do you feel that you've channeling the great masters of art history to help you achieve a new level?
Raphael, you know, they speak to me.
Really? One of the big things that I was looking forward to doing is nasty stuff like this, because before this I'd been doing more technical stuff, more like realistic humans. Doing realism is fun to a certain extent. It's more fun to do something that's slightly realistic. There's more artistic license as far as where you can go with it. With realism, there is no artistic license.
Creature design is kind of the most exciting thing. Like Peter was saying, artistic freedom, and just you can do kind of whatever you want and you push things. I mean, that's what the great masters did, so it's just exciting to work on that kind of thing.
Here's my workstation. I have my Cintiq, which is what we use to paint and model. This is the monitor that we can actually draw on, paint on the screen, sculpt in ZBrush, which is very helpful and amazing. And then on the left of me, I have my standard monitor where I usually keep my reference. We're able to give metal a kind of specularity that we couldn't before. Scratches, blood, a real shine and realism that we couldn't deliver on the last project. We are working with a lot more polygons and a lot more textures on our project this time, per object.
Here's Hermes, the concept art that I got from Andy Park, who did a great job. You can see the boots are in there and what color they're supposed to be, what material. We're still working on the cloth, making sure that's all rigged nicely. And right now, it'll be looking nice and transparent. So here we are starting him out in ZBrush and adding a lot of the little detail. Say if you wanted his skin to bulge around these straps, it would be really easy to go ahead and just add musculature in here.
Today you may defeat me, but in the end, Kratos, you'll betray only yourself.
This is the centaur in our game. Andy Park did the concept. They always do like a colored version first like this to kind of nail the feel of the character and like what he's all about. And then they'll give us these turnarounds like this one. We have, you know, the horses have these like chest muscles that kind of flow up into the horse neck, you know, this way. And we have abdomen muscles and these obliques that kind of flow in. And where our hips sit, you know, is kind of where their shoulder blades sit. So typically most people draw centaurs. You know, this isn't, I'm not the first one to make one of these things. So, you know, this has been thought about before. But typically, you know, our hips, like where the hips would sit on a human, they put where the shoulder blades would be. It feels kind of like it would work, you know.
Kratos was created from scratch simply because we weren't sure where we wanted to go in the third game, if we were going to change him at all, or if we were going to maintain the PS2 silhouette and essentially the same exact character. We felt like it might be an opportunity to really make some changes to him, considering the level of fidelity and sophistication in what we could create now on the PS3. We started out way out there. 2.5 years later, we decided that he looks like the PS2 model. So we're back to where we started, but it's really coming together, and it's right for the game. Kratos is a very heroic, very stylized silhouette, a very thin waist, very broad shoulders. He has kind of a swimmer's build on steroids. He's 8.5 feet tall, and he has a head the size of a 4-foot tall person. His waist is probably thinner than all of our wives. He's a trippy looking guy, but he reads really well in the game. Basically what I'm working on now is we've got an upper body and a mesh that the art director as well as the director really like. So now it's a matter of creating a blend map, which is new technology for Sony Santa Monica, in that we can do expressions. Basically I'm just creating the rage, sculpting him looking angry, and we'll be able to blend this new facial expression into the current model. So we can go from here to here. The satisfaction comes in seeing him in the game saying, wow, that's him. Only look, you can see his veins and you can see him breathing. And it looks better than the cinematics. That's kind of that's the satisfaction.
Zeus! Your son has returned. I bring the destruction of Olympus!
Caden's crow in the opening cinematic flies down and ends up landing on this hapless victim. And as he's eating the guy, he rips the eyeball out of the socket. So it's especially like juicy and nasty. Later today, I'll be working on the vein that the eyeball's attached to. So maybe the crow can like wrestle the eye out and really get some good squirming going on in the audience, sort of thing. The way it works is that you lay down your base color. For example, with this guy, you get like a good skin tone going. And then from there, you add additional details. Like with this guy, his main details are the cuts that he has and then the dirt that's added. There's some sort of distortion going on here, and that's because it's actually being wrapped in 3D. So you can sort of feel where the chin line is just because of how these are bending.
This is Hercules, and he's wearing these cestises, and basically they're like these huge gauntlets. Just trying to get across the fact that he's kind of like this aged warlord. He's not a super fresh young guy, so he's got some fat to him and some history. He's basically Kratos' brother, so a lot of the visual elements that he has, I think, parallel what Kratos wears. The really fun stuff was sculpting his flesh and his muscles and whatnot. Like, this is a final concept image, but we take it a step further and put a level of polish on it that isn't there. Because once it's here, this is a beautiful painting, but once it goes in the game, it needs to be perfect at every angle. Every angle you look at it has to be a great piece of work. So it's you have to go in and you take this and you take everything a step further, and there can't be any mistakes.
Call it my 13th and final labor. Soon I will become the god of war and claim the throne for myself.
This recording session for God of War that we're starting today is the culmination of a lot of preparation. This is definitely the most complicated session I've ever put together.
I'm gonna go get a sweatshirt. We should go in the other room while we can, huh?
One of you here and one of you here. How close do you need to be? Here, just duck under the microphone. We need to take a couple minutes to readjust where things are. I'm a little nervous about this session, just the number of variables. We've got a lot going on. 2 actors at a time. We've got a lot of people going to be at the session. We've got facial capture, we've got teleprompters, we've got all kinds of stuff. It's a new studio. There's room for error, but I like to think that I've nailed everything down before we got there. But I'm definitely, my breath's coming a little shorter today than it normally does. We are moments away.
What was it, Kratos?
All I remember is what I have lost.
That is why you should give me the power. I understand its true meaning. And
my character, I like to think of her as she thinks she's doing something good, but in reality, she's trying to take over the world.
Kratos, she is the key to our revenge. I trust you to do the right thing, Kratos.
You shouldn't.
Kratos, I found out, is a piece of me that I kind of didn't know existed. It's kind of a dark side that it really is fun getting a chance to explore.
I delivered your revenge on Zeus.
My vengeance ends now. I owe you nothing!
When you have the other actor in the room, you're able to come up with a rhythm. It makes it more real.
I really, really like it. It gives you a chance to play off of what the other person is doing as opposed to doing it by yourself.
We're getting so much from this performance that we wouldn't normally get. I'm totally stoked about it right now.
You owe me this, Kratos!
I owe you nothing!
Bravo. That's perfect. Awesome.
Excellent.
That was it. That was it.
I knew you'd come back. I've never worked with the prompters, and it's really freeing for the actor because, you know, you're looking straight ahead instead of always, you know. Really a cool experience. Find the labyrinth! Ah! Ah! Please! Help! Kratos! One of my favorite things to do is scream. I really, I like it. I don't know why. Maybe, no, I don't know why. I saw Zeus torture my father. I just try really a simple approach to it. It's bringing those words into your character and actually thinking a thought before it. It makes it more real. They called me a monster.
Beautiful. Natalie was new. We had never worked with her before. She was an ace. She totally knocked it out of the park.
Many more variables than a normal voiceover session for a game today, and it went very, very well. I'm happy with how today turned out.
Phenomenal. Phenom.
That's all that really matters is Stig is happy, and if Stig's happy, we're all happy.
Who is Hercules? Well, it was me for 7 years on TV, so this is a whole different look. I didn't quite have that look. I had kind of more gear on, and I didn't weigh, 4,000 pounds. This guy's like about 12 feet tall.
They called them labors. Ha!
There you go. That was good. That was really good. Yeah. Kevin Sorbo was obviously an easy choice because he's Hercules, but not necessarily in terms of the way that he's played Hercules in the past, a little bit of a departure. Can we get, but this time, brother, more seething?
But this time, brother, this time I will destroy you.
That's good.
In this game, he's a much darker brute. He's not the brightest light bulb out there, but at the same time, when it comes to war, he's brilliant.
The direction is more pissed.
Okay. As pissed as you can get.
The most valuable I can be is to take what the creator of the game has been imagining and seeing on paper for a long time and bringing it to life with the voice. And trying to find different ways to get to actors to achieve what he wants to do.
Try one thing, if you would, Kevin.
Yeah.
Take the breath after stables, and then you can finish off the phrase.
Okay.
The most frustrating thing about doing voiceover is the amount of time you've got to do each line. You've got to repeat it, but you've got to also do it in so many different ways, so many different inflections, and you end up losing your voice.
Have you not killed enough of your family?
That's
Good. That's very good. It was a slam dunk. He really brought a passion to the character. He was very professional. His voice was kind of running out. That's when he gave some of his best stuff.
Fantastic. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you. It wasn't the same Hercules, not even close to it. So it was a darker and more sinister person and a more evil person to deal with and play. But, from my standpoint, it was a lot of fun.
It's the way to start.
New day of recording, very excited about it. Today we're doing Rip Torn and Malcolm McDowell. The game's based on Greek mythology. This guy's like the Smith god, and he's like...
Oh, he's the Vulcan.
Yes, exactly.
The Roman name for Hephaestus is Vulcan. He's the god of fire, and he's a great blacksmith. The greatest thing you have on stage is the other actor.
I don't get extra pay for this.
Thank you. They are entertainment, and they are movies, and you can get involved in it. It kind of gives you a semblance of what live theater used to be when you had audience participation. Yeah, I kind of look like that.
Ghost of Sparta, it is you. Well. I thought Zeus would have killed you by now.
Daedalus.
Oh, and what does he do?
He's the inventor. He also created the labyrinth.
The labyrinth? Wow. And where is the golf course?
It's really cool. Eat lunch with Malcolm McDowell. You can't beat that.
The ice storm, that will give me the power to bring my son back to me. Where
Where's my boy?
Awesome.
You bastards!
That was awesome.
We need one for coverage, but that was
We want to protect it with one more, please.
Oh, we're not gonna go protecting all these takes, are we?
Yeah,
Don't
we
tell
are.
me we're gonna do 2 fucking takes. Why don't you just use a bit of proper tape? Why do we have to do 2 takes of everything?
Well, because we...
Not for protection.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Let's listen to it.
That's
Let's listen to it.
nonsense.
And we're going to listen to one line, be right with you.
Okay. You don't mind, right? Because it's really, if I'm in a jag and it's going, it's going.
I hear you. Could we do the line to escape it, please,
Yes.
one more time?
Tell me what you need.
The word catalyst had a little bit of a squirtle to it.
Okay.
Okay? When you're ready?
Okay. To escape it, we must assemble it.
Actors are so varied and so different in the way they work, and to find what that key in there is and unlock that door with them and then be able to play is really a challenge and a kick at the same time.
He said that if I took the liquid fire and the sling, oh my boy, oh my child.
You know, I actually like that. That's different than what we thought.
Terrific, thank you.
I like it.
Vengeance on the king of gods. You'll need an army of gods. And weapons. Of course, weapons. I could build. I could use the fire of Hades. Wait, please. Please, wait. Free me. Free me from my torture.
We're good. We're good.
Thank you, Spot. Thanks, Barton. I say, thanks so much.
Cheers, good sir.
I say squatter.
We're not used to people coming in here and nailing it so, like, basically knocking it out of the park like this. So
Oh, really?
we had more time, so.
Well, no, okay. Well, listen, I just thought, oh my God, I thought I had reams and reams and I had to do everything twice. And it was like, oh my God, if you've got it, right?
Right. Yeah, we got some great stuff.
Great.
It's fantastic.
Terrific.
Good.
Thank you. My pleasure. To work with Malcolm McDowell and Rip Torn in the same day.
Same day, yeah.
Pretty wild experience.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me, too, the different acting styles, because Malcolm McDowell is very much the Royal Shakespeare Company, and it comes in, you know, word for word like that. And Rip Torn is more of the old actor's studio, and he's a little bit up and down and nowhere, but out of that comes a gold of its own kind.
There's an extra level of dimension and texture that we got to them that's just through the fact that they're fucking good actors.
Now that we've gotten the recording part of it down, my stress level has decreased a great deal.
Now you can have a glass of wine.
Now I can have a glass of wine.
You are the reason I live in torment.
He told me he would kill you.
He can't. Perhaps he did allow me to kill the Nemean lion, but he made your name known amongst the people. A fierce warrior, a killer made a hero, a man made a god.
But you, what have you done with my child? My boy, where is my boy?
Your son is dead, Davis.
Boy, my child, no, no, no!
When we're starting to do an environment, we'll receive a concept from our concept artist. And they do this elaborate, crazy drawing that looks really cool. And then from that, design already has their design laid out. It's basically like a sheet. You just a bunch of blocks and boxes that gameplay's already in there, it already works. From there, we go over it and we start building our level with it. You know, we layer on geometry, the hills, mountains, whatever's gonna be in there, and incorporate all that into the sheet so it all plays together nice and make it look pretty.
Every corner in the game is pretty much unique. It's handcrafted, and that's the difference. You look at other games, it's an assembly line, it's mass-produced. They'll build a crate, and then you'll see that exact crate hundreds of times throughout the game. You don't get that in God of War.
Good people here. Everybody's really talented, super talented, but nobody has an ego or anything like that, so it's great. Well,
What's gratifying for me is coming in every day and actually liking the job that I'm doing. You know, I bore my girlfriend with, you know, how I'm gonna, you know, make this sweet piece of metal like even sweeter. I enjoy talking about it. She hates it.
Biggest challenge is getting it done on time.
You lose sense of what starts to look into you, and you actually need other people's eyes to tell that. And I think working with a team of guys that are always open to giving you advice and telling you, hey, this looks great, or hey, maybe this could be worked on a little bit, really makes the art come out to look a lot better.
I'm going to show you an example of how we do collision. So here's the basic level that we're working on right now, and then we have the stuff we call sheet, which is the real basic collision stuff that Kratos walks and runs on. So this is actually built by a designer. This gives us the basic places where he needs to run and defines kind of the gameplay spaces. And then we build our art over that. So what we then have to do at a later point in development is go in and make sure there's a cylinder around here and there's a cylinder around here, and that we make sure that we put in little divots into this collision so that he doesn't get stuck on things or walk through things. And then here, you can see where he is walking, there is collision. But if you look carefully right now, because the sheet isn't actually finished, his feet move through little places in the ground and things like that. And because like there's wall, we have collision right there, he can't go through this wall. But we don't actually have any collision on this pillar, so he's going to go weep and walk right through. So eventually that's what we'll have to do, is make sure that all that stuff is in there and that he can't walk through these pillars. And that's what collision is.
This is a concept by Cecil Kim, and it's the exterior of the top of Mount Olympus with the Zeus statue there. And that's where you're going to be fighting Zeus. And this is another piece that I asked Cecil to do for me, and it's a top-down of the ground. That's when concept art really comes in handy, because we have to do so much ground that Kratos is transitioning over that it's really nice to get some fresh ideas. And I'll take his drawing here and then start fleshing it out and coming up with crazy marble and gold. And he had this cool feather idea. You get dirt and stuff picking in between the feathers, adding, I guess, an extra layer of filth to the world. You build it clean first, and then I'm going to go in here and destroy it and make it look like a fresh battle has happened in it.
Here's an example of a piece in Tartarus. This is a gate that basically raises up on these chains from the side. This is a pretty detailed piece from what we would normally get from a concept artist. We'll get, you know, big vista shots, and then if it's an important piece, we'll get something like this to sort of detail out what it should look like. So this is what I'll get. My first step after that is to figure out these shapes in 3D. I'll create something like this. This is just a wireframe, you know, just like any video game. You know, nothing too special about it. We bring this into a high poly modeling program to really add a lot of the detail and like the grit and the texture. This works a lot like real clay. You can see how I can just sort of work over it and obviously not be that sloppy, but that allows me to get all this detailing and stuff in. Once we get it to that point, we end up getting all that high poly detail as a texture. And you can't really see it too well on here, but I brought it up on this screen. You can see how a lot of that high detail gets transferred on there. That's really kind of one of the big cornerstones of all this next-gen stuff.
This is one of the Hades levels. You can see right here, it consists of a large room and then a series of halls with little torch things in there. This is pre-lit, this is just the polygons. In this game, we are pushing a lot of polygons. The environments are, at least this one is probably twice the size of a God of War 2 level in terms of polygons, and probably 4 times larger in textures. If you look at the screen here, this is the level after it's been initially lit. You see we have a nice bloom going on now, which we just got. So you can see the softness that you have along all the lights. Before, lighting used to be really harsh. The bloom just gives it kind of this real world foggy effect. Just gives the scene a nice softness to it. Gives it kind of a cinema quality. Eventually his lighting will match the environments and it'll look really nice.
What I've been working on lately is building the environment for a movie trailer. So it's been a little different than building a regular environment. I've imported the camera and I scrub through what the camera's going to see, and I just make sure my environment fills in all the gaps. This is the base layer of what will ultimately be a pretty dense forest. This is constantly what I do. I'll just scrub through the animation, see where the camera goes, make sure I have enough detail in certain areas. If I don't have enough detail, or if you see obvious seams, I'll either cover those up or I'll consider how fast the camera's actually flying through this, and will it all be blurred out anyway, and I won't worry about it. This scene is a little more detailed than a regular environment would be, just because it is a rendered movie. So that's the end of this camera, and then it continues on.
This is the concept that we get, and basically this is an overall of the entire level. It's a big cave, and you have these rock pillars. You got your cave with the waterfalls. You know, it has little details in there, but it gives you the whole picture. You get your rocks, the greenery, the waterfalls, and then the architectural bridges. This is basically the sheet that we get from the designers, and that's the basic layout that we start with. And from there we start building the actual rock and geometry on top of the sheet. You have gameplay that you can go along with as you're building your levels to see exactly where the camera views are going to be and what you need to build out. Here's an example of where I start. I have all these rocks. This is going to be a whole rock level. You have a massive level on scale compared to any of the other ones we did in God of War 1 and God of War 2. And it's all very detailed rock geometry. It takes a long time to cut all this stuff in and make it look pretty.
Here we have the original concept art that was for the grate that I designed and modeled in 3D. So here in ZBrush, obviously, I added some rope detail. Whether it was a rope or not in the concept, it looked I tried to get as close as possible, so I just assumed it would be a rope. So that's what I did here, and obviously we have some of the nails going inside. This is what it came out to be. We knew we wanted a different color than what we had in the original concept, so you notice the color is a little different. We could actually bring it up in the PS3, and we can take a view of what it would look like at game. So back here is like the original model, and then here is the detailed version of that.
This is one of the pieces of concept art for the Olympus hub at the top of Mount Olympus. I'm in the process of arting it. You can see a lot of stuff is still just the gray blocking pieces, but starting to get some of the detail. Pretty much the way they have our tools set up, anything I build here, I can within reason quickly send it over to the development kit. I can send the entire level over so I can run around and play and interact with the environment. I can also take chunks of the environment, send them over just so I can kind of view a specific section that I'm working on. Still a lot of the gray areas I need to go in and fill in the details. You can see this down here still all needs to be done. This is kind of our art sheet version, which kind of block in the basic shapes and spacing and everything. These things we put in our level, they're scale versions of Kratos that we use just to make sure we're keeping our scale correct when we're building the stuff so details don't get too out of whack.